When life is easy, preparation feels unnecessary. When life gets hard, it becomes priceless. Here's a story that proves it. No one noticed the little pile of seeds beneath the old oak tree. Every day, animals hurried past it without a second glance. Some laughed. Some ignored it. A few even wondered why anyone would waste the brightest days of summer collecting food that wasn't needed. But months later, that tiny pile would become the difference between peace and desperation. In a lively meadow surrounded by wildflowers lived two unlikely friends, Aaron the ant and Garo the grasshopper. Aaron was small, quiet, and rarely in a hurry. He believed every season had a purpose. While others admired the sunshine, Aaron admired opportunity. Garo was cheerful, talented, and full of life. His violin filled the meadow with music from sunrise until sunset. He believed life was meant to be enjoyed while happiness lasted. Why spend beautiful days worrying about cold ones? Garo often said with a smile. Aaron simply smiled back, continuing his task without a word of argument. Every morning, the meadow woke with golden sunlight. Bees buzzed between flowers, butterflies danced through the air, and the scent of fresh grass floated on the breeze. While Garo entertained everyone with music, Aaron quietly carried one seed after another back to his little home. One seed. Then another. Then another. Some days the work felt endless. His tiny legs grew tired. The sun was hot. The distance felt longer every afternoon. Yet every evening, his storage became just a little fuller. Garo watched him one afternoon and laughed. "You're missing the best days of the year," he said. "Come enjoy the music. Dance with us. There will always be tomorrow." Aaron looked across the bright meadow. "Tomorrow is exactly why I'm working today," he replied. Garo shook his head. "You're always preparing for something that may never happen." Summer stretched on. The meadow seemed endless. Food covered every field. The streams sparkled. Warm winds carried laughter every evening. Even a few ants began wondering if Aaron was working too hard. For the first time, doubt quietly entered his mind. Maybe Garo was right. Maybe he should rest for just one day. He looked toward the sky. Far beyond the hills, dark clouds were gathering. Not over the meadow. Not yet. But they were coming. Without saying another word, Aaron picked up the seed again. Weeks passed. The flowers slowly disappeared. The mornings became colder. Leaves turned gold, then brown. Birds began flying south. One evening, a sharp wind swept across the meadow unlike anything before. By sunrise, everything had changed. The first snowfall covered every path. Food vanished beneath frozen ground. The cheerful songs stopped. The meadow became silent. Inside his warm little home, Aaron counted his seeds. Outside, Garo wandered through the snow. His violin was silent. Every place that once overflowed with food now held nothing but ice. Day after day, he searched. Nothing. The cold grew harsher. His strength faded. For the first time, he wished he could trade every joyful afternoon of summer for just a handful of food. Finally, exhausted and trembling, Garo stood before Aaron's tiny door. He hesitated. Then knocked softly. Aaron opened the door. Without saying "I told you so," he invited his friend inside. After a long silence, Garo spoke. "I thought preparing meant expecting the worst," he whispered. Aaron smiled. "No. Preparing allows you to face the worst without fear." When spring returned, the meadow came alive once again. This time, however, two friends could be seen carrying seeds together. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they laughed. Life doesn't always warn us before difficult seasons. A lost job, a medical emergency, a broken vehicle. That's why an emergency fund is so powerful. Just like Aaron's tiny pile of seeds, every small amount set aside today becomes protection for tomorrow. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who never face difficult seasons, they're the ones who prepare. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Rajkor Wealth for more timeless stories that teach powerful money lessons.